What's up, everybody? I'm Tara Wellman. This is Birdseeds, and the Cardinals are kind of not very good. I mean, after that 18-6 stretch, I thought they might be on to something, and then, well, they lost 13 out of 18, so maybe not. Honestly, watching the Cardinals right now is really just frustrating because we've seen them play really well, we've seen them play really terrible, and right now they're kind of just hovering right around 500, although they're below it now, which is, again, they're not very good. But I think as frustrating as anything is the fact that we don't really seem to see changes that are gonna make that better. We don't really see different personnel, although yes, I know, Jonathan Broxton's gone, finally. We saw Paul DeYoung get a chance, we saw some new relievers come up into the pen, and that's great and wonderful and all of that, but is it changing anything? Not so much. I mean, for a while, the Cardinals were playing really well when they were playing teams that are below 500, but then they played the Cubs this last weekend, who had just lost 6 in a row, and, well, now they've won 3 in a row, so you're welcome. Now, I could spend the next 10 minutes talking about how John Mozeliak should flip this team upside down, or just call it a year and let us all move on with our lives. I could spend some time talking about how maybe Michael Wacha's tipping his pitches, or about how Colton Wong should come back and Johnny Peralta should leave, even though no one actually expects that to happen. I could go on and on and on about any one of these things, but why? I've seen a version of this idea out there a lot lately, and it kind of got me thinking. I mean, I'll see people who will say, I just don't have the energy to care about all of the little things about this team. And then they proceed to continue to tweet about almost every inning of almost every game. I've been told that I, and basically all fans everywhere, should just stop going to games, and that'll show the ownership what's what. But that's not gonna happen. I've also seen people so worked up that they just stop watching completely. But why? I mean, honestly, why do we care who hits third? Why do we care how many wins the bullpen blows for this team? Why do we care about a double switch or a bunt called from the dugout? Why do we spend a ridiculous amount of time debating whether or not a shocking demotion to A-ball is going to be good or bad for Randal Grichuk? Why do I relentlessly defend Colton Wong while others pour that same effort into the career of Tommy Pham? Why do we think obsessing about Manny Machado now is somehow going to convince John Mozeliak to get that deal done later? Why do we hate David Ross for being a likable guy? And after all these years, why did I care so much about Albert Pujols hitting that 600th home run? I mean, really, why do we invest so much of ourselves, our time, our energy, our emotion, into a game that we really have no control over? Why do I invest myself and all of that into a team that exists in a city where I've never lived? At Pitch Talks a couple of weeks ago in St. Louis, there was some sort of debate going on between the panel. I don't even remember what the topic was. It might have been robo-umps or steroid users in the Hall of Fame or something. But Drew Silva actually went all philosophical on everyone and said something to the effect of this: nothing about baseball fandom, or sports fandom for that matter, is rational. I mean, we choose a team for mostly irrational reasons, and we despise other teams for, as Drew put it, the laundry they happen to be wearing that day. Millions and millions of dollars are paid to athletes who fail 7 out of 10 times in a good career. And we care about 162 plus games a season, many of us living and dying with every pitch from miles and miles away. It is not rational to care this much. It doesn't make any sense to spend so much time, full-time careers worth even, talking about, investing in, caring about something that we can't control. But here's the thing. I don't think it's supposed to. We're so conditioned to this idea of rationalism in our lives, right? The application of logic. We do it in all aspects of life, but we also do it when we analyze every decision Mike Matheny makes, or when we criticize the business model that John Mozeliak uses. I mean, it's why we use stats, because numbers are concrete, they're logical, they make sense. It's why sabermetrics become more and more a part of the game every year, because we're trying to find ways to make rational sense of this irrationally significant passion. But I'm going to be honest with you, Matt Carpenter's numbers at the end of this season won't define my fandom. I don't love the Cardinals because they're the second most winning team in all of baseball history. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but that concrete fact is not what makes me a fan. Truthfully, I'd argue that we're fans because it's irrational. In 2006, I had graduated from high school, started college, and that part of my life, well, let's just say that there is no amount of money that exists or has ever existed that you could give me if I had to go back and relive high school all over again. A rational analysis of my life at that point would have revealed some pretty extreme emotional lows. I mean, everything that was logical and concrete in my life at that point wasn't good. October of 2006, though, gave me something completely irrational to dive into. I mean, watching Adam Wainwright strike out Carlos Beltran while I was standing in the living room with my dad, maybe 2 feet away from the television, gave me the most illogical, irrational high I had ever experienced. And in that moment, nothing else mattered. That is one of probably hundreds of moments that sports in general and baseball specific has given to me. You know, one of those moments where it doesn't matter what else is happening, what else is going wrong, what else is a struggle, but in that moment, time stops and nothing else matters. I mean, as much as I love the strategy and the gamesmanship and the athleticism and the competition of the game itself, even that isn't why I'm a sports fan, and I'm betting it's not why you are either. So, much like Drew Silva did at Pitch Talks, I now am about to go all psychologically deep on you, so brace yourselves. Investing yourself in something in totally inexplicable ways allows for the possibility of totally inexplicable moments. And that logic-defying experience is extraordinarily valuable to human beings with minds that are not only capable of processing illogical information, but that actually, on some level, seem to seek it out. We care about things that don't make sense because most of our time is spent caring about things that do. Sometimes you just need a break. So why do I care about this team playing better? Why do I care about this season being a season where they make a decision to either win or to reset? Why do I care about Johnny Peralta or Colton Wong? Why do I care about any of it? I mean, a winning record or a losing record at the end of the season is not going to change my life. But the completely illogical euphoria that comes from watching the team with the prettiest laundry, I might add, win games, well, that feeling, that moment, it defies logic. And the possibility of that experience, well, that's enough for me to stay invested no matter how nonsensical it seems. That's why we care about the numbers. That's why we care about the patterns. That's why we care about the trends. That's why we care about who's playing well and who isn't, and what decisions Mike Matheny makes and what John Mozeliak is going to do about it. We care because all of those concrete, logical things add up to this incredible, illogical moment. And it's those moments that keep us coming back, no matter what happens. At least it is for me. I'm Tara Wellman, and I will see you next time, win or lose, on Birdseeds.